Carbohydrates. I am often referred to as the carb Nazi. And I'm going to explain why. There are two types of carbs. There are simple carbs and there are complex carbs. They're both sugars. One is a simple sugar. It's something that gets in the bloodstream quickly, like a cold drink, like candy, like syrup, like sugar. The other type of carbohydrate is a complex carbohydrate. This is your grains, flours, rice, pasta, oats, etc. Both break down into sugar and the body uses that for energy. Carbohydrates in and of themselves are not bad. The problem is two. Number one, we use too much carbs. So much of our diet consists of carbohydrates. In fact, the majority of our diet is carbohydrates. That's a problem. Number two, the carbs that we do eat are so processed, so refined, that they lose all the enzymes that they once had and require our body to work harder to break them down, to use them as nutrients, as fuel for our body. We eat too many carbohydrates in our diet. When you go for a snack, what do you generally go and grab? You open up your pantry and there's a carb, whether it be a nut, whether it be a chip, potato chip, pretzel, whatever. It's a carbohydrate, or it's candies, cold drinks, sweets, sodas, pop, whatever. Sugar, there's too much going into our body. So much of our chronic diseases, sicknesses, and illnesses are due to an excessive amount of carbohydrate, which results in inflammation in the body. If we remove the amount of carbohydrates that we're taking in, our body will function better. When we eat a meal that contains carbohydrate, fats, and proteins, our body first goes after carbohydrates. If there's an excessive amount of carbohydrate, the body stores that extra carbohydrate. It stores it as glycogen in the liver and the muscles, but then it stores it as fat. The fat that we take in is going to be stored as fat. It's not going to be used as energy, and of course the protein as well. If we reduce the amount of carbohydrates that we take in on a daily basis, we will have less sicknesses, illnesses, and diseases. We know this. Science tells us that. There's books written about how sugar is bad for us. So don't go to the point where you're not eating any carbs at all, because our body's designed to eat carbs. It's the amount we're eating and it's the type we're eating. See, vegetables are all carbohydrates, but they're all good carbs. Grains are okay, but not excessive amount of grains. Grains are okay, but not processed and refined so much that you have to enrich them. Too much carbohydrates is the cause of a lot of sickness, illness, and disease. So lower the carbs, the body does better. What I generally tell people is cut down on the carbohydrates. Initially start off staying under 100 grams of carbohydrate per day, and then do that for about a week. And then go down to about 90 grams of carbohydrate per day, and do that for a week. And then go down and stay around 70 to 72 grams max of carbohydrate grams per day. Now, you're not going to have to sit there and count carbs the rest of your life. What this will do, it'll teach you a behavior. You'll know when you're eating too many carbs. You feel tired, you feel bloated, you feel sick, you feel malaise, you feel just blah. Too many carbs will do that to you. Carbs are also responsible for inflammatory diseases. Inflammation is one of the #1 causes of most chronic diseases. So if we could remove the inflammation, then we could remove a lot of the chronic diseases. The way we do that through nutrition is to remove the carbohydrates, the excessive amount of carbs in the diet.